Over an 11-month period in 2019 and 2020, Gap Incorporated, the world's sixth largest apparel company, experienced an astonishing amount of change. They began by announcing they would be splitting their company in two. Following that, they lost 30% of their market value and subsequently fired their CEO of 5 years. Finally, they canceled their plans to split and decided to move forward the same company as before. Our goal was to start with why. Why did Gap undergo those changes, and how could they have managed it differently?
The value chain analysis identifies the activities of Gap that creates value for their customers. The primary activities in Gap's value chain includes design and development, supply chain management, logistics and distribution, marketing and sales, service, and customer use and product end life. The secondary activities are different departments that support and participate indirectly with the primary activities. The secondary activities include human resources, IT department, finance, legal, and management.
The apparel industry has low barriers to entry. However, Gap uses its economies of scale as a barrier to its targeted cost leadership position. Fortunately for Gap, their supplier power is low. There are many garment factories, and it is relatively straightforward to switch between them. Unfortunately for Gap, buyer power is quite high in the apparel industry. Products similar to Gap's may be found elsewhere, and switching costs to these substitutes are quite low for apparel consumers. Rivalry is quite high for Gap's short-cycle industry as there are numerous competitors with high exit barriers.
Gap's corporate level strategy is a related constrained model with a moderate level of diversification. This strategy creates value through economies of scope, such as sharing corporate activities and transferring core competencies, as well as by increasing its market power due to multi-point competition. Gap finds a good fit with this strategy through a strong management team and a focus on sustainability that is shared amongst the brands. The core Gap brand has a differentiation strategy, utilizing its many stores to reach a broad market. While once strong, this strategy has started lagging in recent years. Old Navy successfully uses a cost leadership strategy to serve its broad market of all age groups at a low cost. Banana Republic, Athleta, Hill City, and Intermix find a mostly good fit using focused differentiation strategies to serve narrow markets.
Gap is the signature brand of Gap Inc., but they are currently facing strategy-related challenges. Customers complain that clothes look the same as they did 15 years ago. Foot traffic in malls is decreasing, and they have many underperforming stores. Gap is a strategy of brand differentiation, but currently have a lack of fashion innovation, and there is little reason for customers to visit Gap stores over other clothing retailers. To differentiate themselves, Gap should focus on environmental sustainability throughout their supply chain. They can also form a strategic alliance with thredUP, which resells gently used brand name clothing. When a person sells a Gap brand piece of clothing, they could receive a 20% off coupon to use at a Gap store to increase their foot traffic.
Gap acquired Banana Republic in 1983 and entered into a more upscale and preppy clothing market segment. In 2008, Athleta was acquired to enhance Gap's athletic women's wear options. Intermix was acquired in 2013, which included 32 boutiques and online websites that offer a mix of luxury brands and up-and-coming designers. Most recently, Janie and Jack was acquired in 2019 to enhance the baby Gap market.
In the first quarter of 2019, Gap Incorporated announced it would be spinning off Old Navy as an independent, publicly traded company. The remaining companies within the corporate portfolio would be named NewCo. Gap's press release described this opportunity for Old Navy as a chance to pursue value-focused consumers and utilize Old Navy's strategic real estate strategy. Conversely, NewCo will be better positioned to pursue sustainability, social responsibility, and deliver distinct products and experiences. Gap believed the economies of scale shared by the two companies was outweighed by the opportunity for them to better target their individual segments. However, just 11 months later in early 2020, Gap reversed their decision to spin off Old Navy. According to Gap's press release, operational inefficiencies and areas for improvement uncovered during the divestiture were the cause for the reversal. Unofficially, however, Gap Incorporated lost significant revenue over 2019, and this combined with a divestiture cost of $800 million caused the company to cancel their plans.
We have discussed a few strategies that Gap has used thus far to get them where they are today and why these decisions were important. While the recent decision not to divide into two companies came as a surprise, their strategic management team needed to reevaluate their strategies as their value continues to decrease. The only question left is what is next for Gap.